My thumb hovered over the text message, reading it for the 100th time. Don't show up tomorrow. You're an embarrassment to this family. We don't want to explain why our daughter took 8 years for a 4-year degree. I sat in my small apartment, surrounded by moving boxes and the gentle hum of my laptop running financial algorithms. Tomorrow was my college graduation, but not the way my parents imagined. They thought I was finally finishing my bachelor's degree in business. They had no idea I was receiving my PhD in financial engineering with a focus on algorithmic trading. Let me explain. I'm Sarah Mitchell, and 8 years ago I made a choice that changed everything. I was supposed to follow my parents' perfect plan. Get a business degree, join Mitchell & Associates, the family's financial consulting firm, and eventually take over when my father retired. Simple, straightforward, soul-crushing. But during my first year of college, I discovered something fascinating in my computer science elective: the power of algorithmic trading. While other students saw boring lines of code, I saw the future of finance. I secretly switched my major, doubled down on advanced mathematics, and pursued a direct track to a PhD. To keep my parents from cutting me off completely, I maintained the illusion that I was just struggling with my business degree. Every semester I doctored my transcripts before sending them home. Still working on it, I'd say during our brief phone calls. These classes are really challenging. They bought it because they wanted to believe I was failing. It fit their narrative perfectly. Their disappointment of a daughter couldn't even handle a simple business degree. My older sister Julia, of course, had done everything right. 4 years at an Ivy League school, straight into a management position at Mitchell & Associates, married to a senior partner. She was their golden child, their proof that their way was the only way to succeed. Did you see Sarah's latest transcript? I overheard my mother say during last Thanksgiving. 8 years and she's still not done. Thank God we have Julia to take over the company. If only they knew what I was really doing during those 8 years. It started small, a trading algorithm I developed during my master's research. While my family thought I was failing Business Statistics 101, I was actually coding a program that could predict market movements with 89% accuracy. I launched it with my savings of $15,000. Within 6 months, that algorithm had turned my initial investment into $300,000. I reinvested everything, living in a tiny studio apartment, eating ramen noodles, and working through nights and weekends to refine my code. By year 3, my trading system had grown into something extraordinary. I formed a shell company, Atlas Financial Technologies, to handle the increasing profits. My family never questioned why I didn't need money from them anymore. They just assumed I was working retail jobs to survive. Today, Atlas Financial manages over $2 billion in assets. Not that anyone knows I own it. The company operates through a complex web of subsidiaries and holding companies. My name appears nowhere in its public records. But tomorrow isn't just my graduation. It's also the day Atlas Financial's biggest move yet goes public, our acquisition of Mitchell & Associates. My father's company has been struggling for years, too proud to modernize, too stubborn to change their outdated methods. Their stock price has been falling for 6 straight quarters. My algorithms predicted they would be vulnerable to a takeover 3 months ago. Through a series of carefully orchestrated moves, Atlas Financial has been quietly buying up shares. As of yesterday, we owned 48% of Mitchell & Associates. Tomorrow morning, just hours before my graduation ceremony, our final purchase will go through, giving us controlling interest. My phone buzzed again, another text from my mother. We mean it, Sarah. Stay away from graduation. We've told everyone you dropped out anyway. It's easier than explaining your failure. I put my phone down and walked to the window of my shabby apartment. From here I could see the Mitchell & Associates building, its logo illuminated against the night sky. By this time tomorrow that logo would belong to me. My laptop chimed, an email from my company's board, who had never met their mysterious CEO in person. Purchase agreement is ready for final approval. Shall we proceed with the Mitchell acquisition? I typed 2 words, execute tomorrow. Another text from my family buzzed through. Don't embarrass us more than you already have. Just accept that you're not cut out for success. I smiled, picking up my graduation robe from its hanger. Inside the pocket was my acceptance speech. I'd been chosen as the graduating class speaker, not that my family knew. The speech would be broadcast live on the university's website, where I knew my parents would secretly watch, if only to confirm I wasn't there. My phone rang. It was Julia, probably calling to rub salt in the wound. "Sarah, please tell me you're not actually planning to show up tomorrow," she said without greeting. "Mom and Dad are serious. They don't want to see you." I ran my fingers over my graduation robe, touching the gold cords that marked my summa cum laude status. "Don't worry, Julia. Everyone will see exactly who I am tomorrow." Graduation morning dawned bright and clear. My phone had been buzzing since dawn, mostly messages from my family, each one more condescending than the last. "Glad you finally showed some sense and stayed away," my father texted. "It's for the best, dear," from my mother. "You were never cut out for academia anyway." Julia sent a particularly stinging message. "Thanks for not embarrassing us today. I'm giving a big presentation to the board about taking over as CEO. At least one Mitchell will make the family proud." I turned my phone off and adjusted my graduation robe in the mirror. Under it, I wore a tailored black suit that cost more than my father's monthly salary. Today wasn't just about proving them wrong, it was about taking back my power. My laptop chimed with an urgent email. "Atlas financial acquisition of Mitchell and Associates confirmed. We now own 51% of shares. Announcement goes public at 10 a.m. Perfect timing. My graduation speech was scheduled for 10:15. The graduation ceremony was being held in the university's grand auditorium. As I walked backstage, I could hear the excited chatter of families finding their seats. Somewhere out there, I knew my parents were sitting in their office, probably watching the live stream just to confirm my absence. The dean approached me with a warm smile. "Dr. Mitchell, are you ready? It's not every day we graduate someone with a triple major PhD and 4 pending patents." I nodded, touching the speech cards in my pocket. 8 years of work, sacrifice, and secret success were about to pay off in ways my family never imagined. At exactly 10 a.m., my phone lit up with notifications. The business world was exploding with the news. Breaking: Atlas Financial acquires Mitchell and Associates in surprise takeover. I smiled, imagining the chaos unfolding at my father's office. Right now, he would be discovering that his company was no longer his. That some mysterious entity had bought out his life's work from under him. The ceremony began. I sat among my fellow graduates, listening to the initial speeches. My phone kept vibrating, likely my family frantically trying to reach me about the company takeover. They had no idea that an even bigger shock was coming. Finally, the dean stepped up to the podium. "And now it is my great pleasure to introduce our student speaker. Graduating today with a PhD in financial engineering, computer science, and applied mathematics, with the highest GPA in university history, Dr. Sarah Mitchell." The audience applauded as I stood. Through the livestream camera, I could practically feel my family's shock through the screen. "Good morning," I began, my voice clear and confident. 8 years ago, I made a choice that disappointed my family. They thought I was failing at a simple business degree. In reality, I was building something extraordinary. I paused, letting my words sink in. During these 8 years, I developed revolutionary trading algorithms that changed the face of financial technology. I founded a company that now manages billions in assets. And this morning, that company acquired Mitchell and Associates. Gasps echoed through the auditorium. The live stream chat exploded with comments. To my family watching this from their office at Mitchell and Associates, or should I say Atlas Financial Technologies? I smiled directly into the camera. "Surprise. Your embarrassment of a daughter is now your boss." My phone was practically dancing across the podium with incoming calls. I continued my speech, detailing my research and innovations, each word a bullet point of success they had never bothered to notice. As I finished speaking, the dean returned to announce my other achievements. 4 patents pending, 2 published papers, and a trading system that had revolutionized algorithmic finance. The ceremony ended with thunderous applause, but I wasn't done yet. I had one more stop to make. I drove straight to Mitchell and Associates, my company now. The building was in chaos. Employees clustered in groups, whispering about the takeover. About the mysterious owner of Atlas Financial. About their uncertain future. The elevator ride to the executive floor was silent. When the doors opened, I found my family huddled in my father's office. My office now. "Sarah." My mother's face was pale. "What are you doing here? What's going on?" Julia demanded. "We're in crisis. Some company called Atlas Financial. I know," I interrupted calmly. I own Atlas Financial. My father, who had been staring out the window, turned slowly. That's impossible. I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app. Would you like to see my personal account balance? Or maybe Atlas Financial's acquisition records? Or perhaps my doctoral thesis on algorithmic trading? But you were failing, my mother stammered. All these years. No, I corrected her. I was succeeding. You just couldn't see past your own expectations to notice. Julia sank into a chair. The company, it's yours? Everything is mine, I confirmed. The algorithms, the patents, the billions in managed assets. And now Mitchell and Associates too. My father's face had turned an interesting shade of red. You can't do this. We're family. Family. I laughed. Last night you called me an embarrassment. This morning you told me not to show my face at graduation. Now suddenly we're family. I walked to his desk, my desk, and sat down. You should check your emails. Atlas Financial is implementing immediate changes to upper management. Starting with the board. You're firing us? Julia's voice cracked. Not exactly, I said, logging into my computer. I'm demoting you to positions more suited to your abilities. Julia, you'll be managing our social media, mother-client relations, and dad. I smiled. I hear the mailroom needs a supervisor. This is revenge, my father spat. No, I corrected him. This is business. You always said I needed to learn about the real world. Well, lesson learned. I stood up, smoothing my graduation robe. Security will escort you to clear out your offices. Your new positions start Monday. Oh, and I picked up the nameplate from the desk, replacing it with one that read, Dr. Sarah Mitchell, CO. Don't be late. I'm not as forgiving of failure as you were. That evening I sat in my new office looking out over the city. My phone had finally stopped buzzing with messages from my family. Instead, it was filled with congratulations from the business world, interview requests from financial magazines, and odd messages from former classmates. I opened my laptop and clicked on a folder labeled Motivation. Inside were screenshots of every dismissive text, every condescending email, every family photo I'd been excluded from. At the bottom was their final message from last night. Don't show up tomorrow. You're an embarrassment. I added a new photo. Their faces when they realized their embarrassment of a daughter now owned their futures. My assistant knocked on the door. Dr. Mitchell? The board is requesting an emergency meeting about the management changes. Schedule it for Monday, I replied. And Sarah? Send a graduation cake to my family's houses. The message should read, congratulations on your new positions. Don't be an embarrassment. Sometimes success isn't about proving others wrong. Sometimes it's about proving yourself right. And sometimes, it's about sitting in the office that once belonged to those who doubted you, knowing that every achievement they dismissed has led you exactly where you were meant to be. My phone buzzed one last time, a message from Julia. I'm sorry. We all are. I didn't reply. They'd have plenty of time to apologize while working their way up from the bottom of my company. After all, isn't that what they always said I needed to do? Success, I've learned, doesn't always look like what others expect. Sometimes it looks like 8 years of secret work. Sometimes it looks like a PhD instead of a business degree. And sometimes, it looks like a daughter they called an embarrassment sitting in the CEO's chair, proving that the greatest revenge is becoming everything they said you couldn't be.